Right, let me take you through news on Karnataka's deciding to lower pass percentage. The Karnataka government has reduced pass marks 33% for SSLC and 30% for second PUC starting next year. Internal marks will now count towards the final scores. The government says that this brings Karnataka in line with CBSE and other boards, the central board, which also has 33 as the pass mark. But is this really a step towards the right move? Is this really a step forward for education? Supporters say the move will reduce exam pressure. In fact, supporters say that this is a move in the right direction as it will reduce exam pressure, improve pass rates and help students from poorer backgrounds to ensure that they pass through. Critics warn, though, that this will lower standards when Karnataka's college enrollment, higher education itself, is very low in terms of dropouts. Karnataka lags behind Tamil Nadu, Puducherry. We have lower number of college entries or higher education entries, while states like Tamil Nadu beats Karnataka. Now, writers and educationists have written to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, calling this move itself as a very poorly thought out one, damaging quality of education itself. In fact, this letter was written to the Chief Minister much before the decision was made and this rule was implemented. Well, it seems like the Karnataka government has already made its decision. But how far is this going to improve or help Karnataka students and the education system? To understand this debate, of course, it helps to know in the first place where the 35% rule came from. Remember, 35% as a pass mark. This rule dates back to the colonial era, a time when the British set low passing marks to produce clerks and administrative workers, not really thinkers or innovators. And over time, that 35% that was implemented by the British, in fact, really became a benchmark and an accepted norm across Indian boards without ever being scientifically justified. Now, if you compare Indian pass marks to international standards, internationally pass marks are far higher, 40% in UK, 50% in Australia, 50 to 60% in countries like Finland and Japan. So the idea is that passing should reflect basic competence, not minimal effort. In truth, academic quality depends far more on trained teachers, modern classrooms, better teaching methods than on a number or a pass percentage. Karnataka has moved the line from 35 to 33, but the real test isn't the pass mark. It's whether learning inside classrooms actually improves. We have with us D. Shashi Kumar, Educationist and General Secretary, CAMS Karnataka. We have Shivananda Nayak, who's a counselor, psychologist, a handwriting expert, to give us a little more into what this really means. Is it beneficial for the students? Shashi Kumar, your take on this. You have many schools associated with you. Do you believe that this is going to help Karnataka students? Yes, it will help them pass. It will push a lot more into the next level of education. But are we producing competent students is the question.
Definitely, Nabila, it is a wonderful decision. It is a level playing. It is the natural justice. It has been given equality under ITA Act also. Number one, the most important component is across country, all boards, most of the states have aligned with 33 marks. Only Karnataka, you assume it, one parent having two children, one is studying in ICSE or CBSE, another in state government, and the state government child has to pass by acquiring 43 marks. If 1 mark is less, they are failed. But when it comes to CBSE, ICSE, it is just 13 marks considering internal. And unfortunately, all these years, giving grace marks, which is not obtained by them, was not scientifically right. Now, 20 marks internal, which is being achieved by these students on various factors, comprehensively studied and given it, that mark is being considered, then that is the justice the child is getting, that he has earned that mark. The third important thing is, see, even Kerala, forget about other place, Kerala has 30 marks to pass, Hindi 20 marks to pass, but when it compares in Karnataka, it was different. And believe it, 6 to 7 lakh students are on loan in Karnataka. You are not just going to higher education. You said a very valid point earlier. It is worse in Karnataka. 22% they are out, and this is a national. We are the last people because other states 7, 8, 10, 12% who are out of system. But coming to Karnataka, there is a 22 percent, and 1 mark, 2 marks. It is really pathetic. Students are not just going out of school; they are going into various aspects: substance abuse, drug abuse, early marriage,
Agree. I agree, sir. But my only
all these
my
things.
only worry is that looking at the way other countries are progressing, 40%, 50% as their pass marks. How
Nabila,
are we
I
going to level
understand
up?
other
We are far
countries.
from leveling up. We are only thinking of those who are
See,
poor,
see,
marginalized,
quality
unable to
means
drop out.
quality means
What
we are
about
always fast.
quality?
Nabila, quality wise, we are always standing fast because most of the children, especially in state board, they are taking out 625 out of 625, high distinction, first class, they have n number. We are worried about the only so much that minimum students who are failing with 2 marks, 3 marks, and without considering, and whoever is speaking, so-called self-claimed experts or whatever it is, they are talking about standardization. Their children, their grandchildren are same. They are also opting 13 marks and passing in other board. Why not make government school and state board? And this is now level playing. Same textbook, same teachers, same working hours. Why? The quality has to start from primary, revise its textbook standardization from 1 to 5th, and allow teachers, leave teachers because teachers are being given all other work except teaching. This has to be corrected. There we have to check with the quality, not with reducing 2 marks. It is entirely not acceptable. Whoever is opposing government of Karnataka, especially Madhu Bangarappa, has taken a beautiful, and this is not a knee-jerk reaction. We have done research. We have checked with all across the states. We have given reports. Even SSLC board has done its own research, and then finally draft notification was there. Only 7 objections, and 700 was far, and more than 18 to 20,000 letters. The
Basically, I
SSLC
see, we
department
understand
draft.
that they got a lot of support, but that's mostly empathizing with the students who can't make it. But
No,
what
no, no,
happens to
no.
quality?
See,
Okay,
these
let
are
me bring in,
level
let
playing,
me also bring in,
natural
yeah,
justice.
Shivananda Nayak. I'll also bring in Shivananda Nayak. Sir, your take on this. Do you believe that lowering pass mark will really help students' motivation and their self-esteem in the long run? Or are we really not ensuring that they are fit enough to face the real world? We're compromising with competency here.
Okay. So good evening, Nabila and the viewers. First of all, let me wish everybody a very happy
You too,
Deepavali.
sir.
Now, reducing the pass marks, according to me, is not really going to help the situation. Because, yes, as you mentioned, the quality of education is going to suffer a lot. Let us understand one thing here. We have what is called as minimum learning levels. If a child is going through a particular class, it should have learned a minimum level of basic knowledge that is given in that particular syllabus. So if a child is not able to achieve that, now how do you decide on pass marks? It is based on this. Now, when you don't achieve these minimum basic levels, the child may be even classified as learning disabled because that is one of the criteria. So why don't we understand this? So the most important aspect is to raise the bar in terms of the standard of our education, not reducing the bar in terms of passing marks. I think this is where government, according to me, is doing a big blunder.
Yeah, Shashi Kumar,
Let us
see,
not,
that's
let us,
psychologically
let us
speaking,
not,
sir. Shivanand, psychologically speaking, what impact does it have on the
Exactly. You
motivation
are right
levels?
only, Nabila. Every
I will
child
come to that
across
now.
this
When we talk about the
earth is
psychological
not
factor,
equal.
the
Sir,
child starts
Shashi Kumar,
feeling
I think there's a
entitled.
problem with your audio. I'll just come to you. We are going to fix that audio for you. Yeah. Go on, Shivanand.
Yeah, psychologically speaking, the child will start feeling entitled. They feel we can get through the these things very easily because ultimately what you see is a certificate in the hand, and we keep on complaining about children lacking skills, whether it is academic or life skills. So if this is not addressed, how do you expect the child to be a contributor tomorrow in the society? Because today it looks like the government is only focused on getting people their certificates. And tomorrow when they come out of the school, they find themselves to be a misfit when it comes to their academics with college.
But ultimately,
I mean,
if you really look at it, CBSE has a pass percentage of 33. So why shouldn't SSLC align with it, considering that a lot more people from the rural background, and those marginalized are usually the ones who opt for SSLC, so the state syllabus. So if CBSE can offer 33%, why not? Which is a central rule. Why not the state syllabus, SSLC also offering 33?
whether it is central or state
You're saying
syllabus,
across the
I
board
don't-
it's wrong to have low pass percentage.
Yes, lowering the percentage is not a solution, because somewhere I think we are bogged down by the fact that we want to get the students fast. They have to get their certificates and not lose their confidence. The unfortunate fact is this is not going to help psychologically. Often we find that, I do come across students who come to PUC from the school level and they are not able to perform over there. Especially when you go to the PU colleges which are in the middle or lower rung, we find that they are not able to write one page of dictation which is given by me as a simple story. Language skills are missing, expressive writing is missing. If this is the state of languages, what will happen to the subjects? Because subjects require comprehension, they need understanding, they need to actually know how to apply this knowledge tomorrow in their future. So by
Education
lowering
of
the
mind.
marks, you
No,
are
no.
actually
Tell
not
us
making
a little more psychologically the impact. Suppose I'm not a very bright student, which I can speak for myself. I think my school days I was always so naughty and not really focused on the actual academics of it as much as I was with extracurriculum. But with academics itself, now if I know that the pass percentage is 33, then I'll study less. It's not like I'm going to put any extra additional work. I know, okay, this is how much I need to study to get this much mark, pass and get out. That was at least my mindset back in the days, right? I obviously improved and matured over time. With college, I did a lot better. But I remember growing up, I gave a lot of importance to 35 because I was like, I just have to get 35 and that's it, I'm done. All I have to do is study these few chapters, So psychologically for me, 35 as a pass mark was just more to do with just a number, nothing else. It did not motivate me to study any better or, in fact, that's all I wanted to do. Stick with 35 marks only. As long as I pass, that's enough for me. That was my mentality. But I, of course, come from a different background. I didn't have that kind of, or how do you say, of course, on one hand, I did have pressure from my family to perform. But on the other hand, I think I'm not the kind of student that otherwise studies in an SSLC school. These are children who come from menial backgrounds. Their education really matters a lot because they're going to be the breadwinners for their family. So very different categories of people. But in terms of psychology, as a child, we're all going to be thinking the same.
Exactly, Nabil. I think you hit the nail on the head. Okay. This is what I was talking about when we speak about quality. If a child is not serious about studies, when I talk about serious, it is not about that way. It is from the viewpoint of learning. That is where raising the bar becomes very crucial for the children to take that learning itself in a more serious manner. It is not about making people qualified, just giving them a certificate and saying that you are
Nabila,
eligible.
every child can't be a super child who can score out of out. There are
Child can't be a super child, but why are you bringing down the pass mark is almost saying that, okay, no matter what, we will pass you. Just manage. Why are you setting those standards?
And the gentleman, let the country agree. CBSE, ICSE are also passing by just 13 marks. Then where is the justice?
Sir,
Then why did India speak about 33 marks?
of CBSE, we know for a fact CBSE is a
Don't
little
tell
tougher in terms of...
same lesson. Don't tell. This has been created. This has been marketed. The same lesson, Nabila. Please, don't laugh.
So
It
you're
is
saying
the same lesson.
CBSE is not
Science and
tougher than
math.
SSLC?
We have researched it. Same math, same science across country. How can a child, and they have only 5 subjects to pass, whereas with state board, 6 subjects, not even 1 mark. See, try to see the real side. Don't try to compete with something quality component. It is not just quality component. It is the lakhs of students who is going on road, who will never attend
No,
PU
okay. How do you
or
justify
higher
this? One
education.
last question here as I wrap. How do you justify this? The same Karnataka students are not able to enroll into higher education. Now, already there's a problem. Higher education in
Because
Karnataka,
1 mark,
dropouts
two
are
marks, if you
so,
say,
dropout percentage is high.
yes,
Tamil Nadu is
yes,
faring
yes,
better than us. So, in
yes,
schools, we are
that is the
passing them,
thing.
but they are not
They
able
are
to
scoring
sustain in
90%,
college.
95%. Kerala is scoring 99% state board. Why not us giving grace mark? Instead of giving grace mark, why don't you consider their internal mark? That was our standard debate. And second thing is, 2 marks is aligning between boards across the country. Why discrimination between state board, CBSE, ICSE? This discrimination under RTE is also violation. So they have balanced it. They have bought the level playing. So why the fear? 2 marks is not for everybody. It is only who has to cross that border. Some at least 50,000, 1 lakh students will be on system.
But
Why
you know,
don't we think of a
I
face
just
for
feel
it?
that instead of focusing on reducing the pass mark, the focus should have been on better infrastructure, better teachers, better internal
Absolutely no
training.
doubt.
That should be
Absolutely
the.
no doubt. You are right. Nabila, you are right. For that, there are many components. First, leave our teachers to teach instead of various activities, various other like sensors that this. See that the books are reaching in time. See that the teachers are being recruited. See that the curriculum, 20 years, NCF curriculum is not been revised 1 to 5th. Let us have that spiral integrated, then everything will set right. That is the other debate. But when it comes to 33 marks, it is definitely justifying component because every board has the same thing. When you talk about Kerala, 30 marks, then let us see the same people who
I
are
just feel, you know
opposing.
that it is a colonial era rule,
See,
35
we
marks.
are
They
in,
had,
see,
the British had
Nabila, you too know,
imposed it
we
to
are in
bring
whale era.
clerks.
We are in AI era. We are
Exactly, which
having
is why our
universities over
standards should
top.
be higher, sir. Precisely, our
Standards
students
should be
are way more
higher in other
intelligent than
things.
you think they are.
No, 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 Nabila. Everybody can't be Nabila or Shashi Kumar. There are students who are backbenchers. They have to be
But
given life.
backbenchers are not backbenchers because they are unintelligent. They're just naughty
No,
and
no,
not
no,
wanting to
no.
concentrate,
There
right? A
are,
lot of times that's
sorry
the
to
case.
say, sorry, Nabila, you are so knowledgeable. You have to understand brain capacities for everybody. See, don't tell that everybody can do a wonder. There are learning difficulties. There are 14 to
So
15%
for
who have
those students, they've got to
dyslexia,
be special
autistic,
classes, special
SLD,
training,
ADHD.
special tuition. For those kind of students, a special training, special tuition should happen. But why bring the
Everything is
standard
required. See,
itself down?
that is what I'm saying. It is when you accept CBSE, ICSE are given 33 and only 13 marks to pass. Internal is considered. Is it not? If it is justice, then why not? State board should not consider internal marks. Simple one. If India wants to talk about it
I'll take
without
a final
playing,
word from
without
Shivanand.
application of mind,
Shivanand, of course, Shashi Kumar comes from a place where lakhs of students benefit from this 33.
not only
They're at
that, it
least
is a
pushed
research
into.
based we are giving the presentation.
Okay, they're
We
pushed
have
into higher
researched the
education. Their
government.
morale is not crushed. They have they at least can move forward in life, right? So a final word from you now that the rule is already implemented.
No, definitely we are happy. We are
Yeah, yeah.
thankful to the government. We are thankful
About
to the
the
Chief
failure of
Minister
Yeah,
government.
yeah.
and
Shivanand,
Education Minister.
Shivanand, yeah.
As I told you, this is a cover-up which is used by the government to you know, uh, cover up its failures, basically because it has not been able to raise the standards, number one. Number two, it has failed miserably in terms of implementing certain rules which were set by the government itself. For example, how many government schools have a regular counselor in the school? How many government schools have a regular special educator in the school? It is these students who fail in the exams who are not able to score the required marks because they don't get the necessary support. Number two, if you look at, I have done this statistical survey where with regard to how many students avail exemptions under learning disability. That number is pathetic. It is less than 2,000. Whereas the prevalence of learning disabilities, according to psychological studies, is about 15%. Post COVID, we see that it has gone up tremendously. Children are lacking fine motor skills, children are lacking focusing ability, which is leading to a lot of issues with regard to academics. These issues are not being addressed.
Correct.
Unless they are addressed.
There are more substantial issues that need to be addressed, and like our panelists said rightly, and you're also looking at that many children who will be benefited as per Shashi Kumar. So this is a debate that will continue. Let's see. I mean, with Indian children faring well across the board. In fact, Indian children are known to be very bright. As much as we're underestimating them, they're also known to be very bright. So is 33 pass percentage, be it SSLC or even CBSE, the central rule as well, is it really scientific? Should we reconsider this and rethink this? Well, Karnataka has already implemented it. Let's see where this goes and how far it does. Thanks very much, both of you, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.